Today's episode is about a man who rarely sits in front of cameras, who almost never gives long interviews, and who has quietly shaped the digital, political, and cultural architecture of the world you live in. His name is Larry Ellison. But this is not just the story of a billionaire. This is the story of a designer of systems, a builder of engines that run out of view, a man whose influence extends from corporate boardrooms to Hollywood studios, from giant data centers to sensitive international relationships that rarely appear on the public stage. We are going to explore the strange path that led him from a modest apartment in Chicago to controlling one of the most critical software infrastructure networks on Earth. We will look at how he has positioned Oracle at the heart of the artificial intelligence revolution. We will examine the Ellison family's sweeping move into Hollywood through Paramount assets. And yes, we will touch on Ellison's long documented connections to philanthropic and political interests in the United States and Israel, and how those relationships intersect with the technology systems Oracle builds. This is a story of ambition, of unshakable conviction, of a constant drive to reshape the world around him. And whether you admire him or criticize him, there is no denying the truth. Larry Ellison is a figure whose fingerprints are on more parts of global society than most people will ever realize. So sit back, get comfortable, and let us go all the way from the beginning. But before we start the deep dive, hit that like button one more time to help this video reach more people. This is the life and influence of Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison's story begins in New York City in 1944, a time when the world was still engulfed in war and the future of technology looked nothing like it does today. His biological mother gave him up for adoption, and he was raised by his aunt and uncle in Chicago. This was not a childhood of great wealth or comfort. It was a household where discipline was strict, expectations were moderate, and ambition was something you had to discover inside yourself. And Larry did. He was curious, rebellious, smart, and unwilling to accept limits placed on him. When he eventually went to college, he dropped out twice. Not because he could not handle the work, but because traditional structure did not fit the way his mind worked. He drifted across jobs, moved to California, and found his way into the world of programming in an era where computers still filled entire rooms. He learned on the job. He experimented. He took small contracts that paid just enough to get by. But then he discovered something that would change everything. Research from IBM that described a new way of organizing and storing data. The relational database. Elegant, efficient, the future. Ellison was not the inventor of the concept, but he was the one who saw its potential most clearly. This could become the backbone of the modern world, and Ellison knew he had to build a company around it. In 1977, the company that would become Oracle was born, and the story of Ellison's ascent truly began. In its early days, Oracle was not glamorous. It was messy, improvised, and fragile. But Ellison pushed with relentless energy. He treated competition like combat. He treated the market like a battlefield. And slowly, Oracle's database software began to infiltrate the back ends of major corporations. This was the beginning of Ellison's philosophy. If you control infrastructure, you control the game. Airlines adopted Oracle. Banks adopted Oracle. Telecom networks, insurance giants, defense contractors, government agencies, one by one, they relied on Oracle to manage the data they could not afford to lose. And with every new customer, Oracle's importance grew. Eventually, it became more than a database company. It became a pillar of the world's operational backbone. Then came the acquisitions. PeopleSoft, Sun Microsystems, BEA Systems, Cerner. Each acquisition expanded Oracle's footprint into new territories: enterprise software, cloud hardware, medical systems, high-performance computing. Ellison did not just want Oracle to be one of many tech companies. He wanted it to be the gravity well that pulled others into its orbit. While AI companies build models and flashy products, Larry Ellison is building something far more fundamental: the infrastructure those models require. Oracle Cloud, once seen as an underdog, has quietly become a key player in enterprise AI. The reason is simple. Enterprises want AI systems embedded directly beside their most sensitive data. Hospitals, banks, national security institutions. These systems cannot risk their information floating in a public cloud that blends workloads together. Ellison's strategy has been to create a cloud architecture specifically for these needs. Dedicated, private, regulatory compliant. A place where companies can train AI models without exposing the data that defines their business. He talks openly about AI transforming healthcare, defense, supply chains, and financial systems. These are areas where Oracle already has deep penetration. So as AI becomes critical, Oracle's role becomes even more central. Ellison's influence is not flashy. It is not about competing with chatbots. It is about becoming the engine room of AI infrastructure itself. Ellison purchased nearly the entire Hawaiian island of Lanai, transforming it into a blend of luxury, sustainability experiments, renewable energy projects, organic agriculture, and high-end resort development. For some, it is a vision of a futuristic eco-community. For others, it is a symbol of billionaire overreach. But regardless of viewpoint, it demonstrates Ellison's defining trait. He does not think in small units. He thinks in ecosystems. He builds worlds, not products. In 2024 and 2025, David Ellison spearheaded a massive deal involving Skydance and Paramount. This move brought a vast library of film and television IP under the Ellison family's influence. It was a media earthquake. This was not just a corporate consolidation. It was a strategic reshaping of cultural power, because whoever controls the library controls what future generations watch. And whoever controls the platform controls how audiences engage with those stories. Top Gun: Maverick, Mission Impossible, Transformers, decades of content, billions of dollars in global influence, all interconnected with the Ellison family's emerging media empire. Ellison has long been known for philanthropic involvement with organizations connected to Israel, including donors that support elements of the Israeli Defense Forces. He has personal relationships in political and strategic circles in both the United States and Israel. These relationships matter because Oracle plays a large role in government systems, intelligence, infrastructure, and defense technology. When someone with Ellison's resources participates in these areas, it naturally intersects with national strategy. No single individual dictates policy, but influence is real. And Ellison's influence exists at the intersection of technology, security, and geopolitics. If you are still watching, you are part of a rare group that values deep research and storytelling. So take a moment, hit like, and subscribe. It helps more than you think, and it tells the algorithm that long-form analysis still has a place on YouTube. Ellison has faced criticism throughout his career for aggressive acquisition strategies, corporate rigidity, and hardball negotiation tactics. Some employees have called Oracle's culture intense, demanding, and relentless. Analysts sometimes warn that Oracle's dominance gives it too much control over enterprise systems that cannot afford downtime. But on the other side of the argument, supporters say Ellison's leadership is the reason Oracle remains stable and resilient in an era where tech disruptors rise and fall within months. Oracle does not chase trends. It builds critical systems that last. The future of Ellison's influence spans three pillars: AI infrastructure, global media consolidation, strategic relationships. Oracle is positioned to become one of the most vital engines behind enterprise AI. Skydance and Paramount tie the Ellison name to cultural influence on a global scale, and Ellison's philanthropic and political networks ensure he will remain a figure connected to strategic conversations worldwide. His empire is no longer about a single industry. It is about interconnected systems. Larry Ellison's life is a reminder that true power is rarely loud. It is often built quietly, steadily, behind the scenes, inside server rooms, legal agreements, data center walls, investment structures, philanthropic networks, and long-term strategic bets. He grew from a rebellious young man in Chicago into one of the most powerful figures in modern technology. He built Oracle into a foundational element of the digital world. He positioned himself as a central figure in the age of artificial intelligence. His family now influences Hollywood's future. And his philanthropic reach extends into global political spheres where technology and national interests overlap. You do not have to admire Larry Ellison. You may criticize the scale of his power or the ambition behind his moves, but you cannot deny his impact. He is a builder of systems that shape the world, a strategist who sees decades ahead, a man whose legacy will continue to influence technology, culture, and geopolitics long after he is gone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next episode. And let me know in the comments which tech titan, billionaire, or corporate empire you want me to explore next.